Welcome to the Center for Supply Chain Research at Lehigh for the Spring Symposium 2025, where our theme is doing more with less. We have a remarkable group of keynote speakers and panelists who are going to really share some of their actual examples of how they've applied doing more with less in their companies. And the other thing that I want to specifically encourage everyone to do is network. I'm very proud to say that we've broken the record again. We have 182 registrations for this CSCRL Spring Symposium.
Those are for backup power systems. So all the cell phone towers, all the data centers that we have, there's batteries that are backing that up in case the main power goes down. And batteries are the first thing that provides energy until it either shuts down completely, like in telecom applications.
This is a very dangerous operation. This is the recycling facilities that many of you will find some of your products in at some point. People were on the line there picking. You can't imagine how difficult that is. It's just you were talking about people not wanting to do that job. Nobody really wants to do that job. You're going to get stabbed. It's a lot of problems. So what they're doing now is they're putting cameras over the line, and they're detecting plastic versus cans, and they're able to sort those things automatically with suction.
So it's certainly very achievable from a security perspective, but again, it requires not using GPT off the shelf. It requires taking an LLM model and actually running it in your environment, which may be on premises in some case, it may be a private cloud, it may be using something like Microsoft Azure Government Cloud and relying on their security standards. But there are ways to lock it down and again, gain that ability to just converse back and forth to gain insights about what's going on in my business.
What system should we have in place? Great example of that, we were using QuickBooks as our primary ERP, which, small company, that's great. From an inventory management system, it leaves a little bit to be desired. And so that was something where we took a step back and said, yes, it's great that we're saving money, but are we shooting ourselves in the foot with lack of analytics and being able to make smart business decisions?
Added in some structure and some hierarchy. And up here you can see I've got a little bit of what that looks like. And you might say to me, Ryan, that looks really simple. Production, plant, department line, product. I agree. It was never done though. And so we put this in place and we drove a lot of other structures off of this overarching hierarchy.
The topic is doing more with less. I got it right this time. So, but there was a very good article that was talking, they were talking about everybody's looking at lean and trying to get lean, and we need to do more with less. Some companies, though, are kind of moving a little bit dangerously close to having, when they're sitting there, they go from lean to anorexic to skeletal, where they're basically doing less with less.
But we sort of lost maybe the forest a bit there and kind of saying, all right, what about the other areas? What about the areas that are supporting getting that in operation? So do we want more output from a piece of equipment on the line, or do we want more utilization of all of our packaging lines?
Even something. Don't go too crazy, don't do everything, because you'll have fatigue. Just pick one or two things you can show some success on and make people believe that the technology and AI and whatever you're working on is getting the result they want. So don't forget the whole thing, holistic, and also the emotions and change management side of things.
Okay.
Like communication on how we're doing and how we're actually meeting our goal, and if we're doing it, what are the things we need to adjust. That continuous feedback loop is super important. I know it's so trite to say, but it all comes down to communication.
We are big about safety, and it's crucial also if you are a foreign company abroad, you work with the local people, you're responsible. You're responsible to bring your standards and your respect for their health and life to the country.
Whenever we start with this, we talk a little bit about the literature, and so there have been lots of work which has been done in the farming literature. They talk about how companies need to come up with the latest technologies. One of the new things that the literature has started focusing on is this notion of people-centric operations. And if you are here and you manage unskilled labor, you should look into people-centric operations.
So this is a
pick and pack process that we developed so that it's only one-touch harvesting, and it's much better for the quality. So you see we're picking up the speed, we're picking up the quality, and all of these things that you see that are happening here were developed by the harvesters themselves. So the one thing that I like to point out about these is the people who are on the front lines that do the work are the ones that know it the best.